Huh? Hell no. Hello, everybody. Christine would like to get a picture before Henry comes of everybody over by the door, staggered if you would, little kids in the front, shorter people in the front, all the way with the bigger people in the back, okay? And we'll do it now, not later.
Take the lens cap off.
Perfect. It always happens. Yes, thank you. Okay, thank you, everybody. If you could grab a seat behind your little favors, there are little poppers. You can use those whenever Dad walks in. And they should be here any minute. So, yeah, don't hurt yourself. Don't point at anyone. Don't, just
Point it right at the eye, something.
Right, no, don't point at the eye. Don't point at the ear.
Too many.
My name's Logan Ross. Nice to meet you, Tom. How do you know that?
Surprise here in a second. September 21st, 2012. Hank, surprise birthday.
I can't believe this, man. Oh. Well, I should turn 70 every year. Oh, man. This is the little guy that got so big. I heard all about you, the football player. I'm doing fantastic. How you doing, my mom? I met her at Tamron.
I had to tell a lie.
You're bad. You're bad. I just saw it. I said, why do you leave so fast?
That's why. Took that how long we
supposed to tell me everything, told me nothing.
I think it works, and,
I can sit
can
out.
everyone hear me okay? Okay. Well, 9 months ago, I got a phone call from Christine, Hank's oldest daughter, and she says to me, Betsy, you know, Dad's going to be 70 this year, and we would like to have a party, and what do you think? And I said, well, you know, your dad doesn't like surprises, he doesn't like fuss, he doesn't like this, doesn't like that. And she said, we don't care, we're going to have it anyway. So that just goes to show you nobody listens to you. And that's something you've been saying all along. And this has been an effort by a lot of special people, and I'd like to thank everyone for coming, first of all. And Joni, thank you for your cookies. Joanne. Look who came to Pittsburgh! Thank you very much for your biscotti. Joni and Joan, I'll tell you what, you two should go into business because your bakery is phenomenal, okay? We'll talk later. I'll be your manager. I get 10%, right? 10%, is that how it works? Okay. Lauren and Christine, you came together. Well, you worked as a team. It was wonderful. But there's a lot of people, special people I want to thank here because there's an Academy Award that needs to go out. Here's Tom and Sue. Tom and Sue Ross. The Academy Award. I was starting to believe there was a party for those too.
We went to dinner last night with Tommy and Sue. And we were talking about the party for Lois, and I said, you know what, I have so many nice things I want to say to her.
And not only
I
that,
still do.
Hank, being the nice guy he is, he came down yesterday and sent his own Roomba. He didn't even know it was for him, but he's a nice guy. But one of the problems I had was, how am I going to get Henry to come down here? What reason? The pool's closed, you know, that's when we come down. There's no reason to come down to the clubhouse. So it didn't take me long to remember that two very, very dear friends of mine, who also happened to be my neighbors, and I could say the beloved friends of mine, happened to be lifelong friends of Henry, Tom and Sue. Now, how this worked out is, Lois, could you stand up or just wave? Okay. This beautiful lady just so happens to have the same birthday as Henry.
Yay, Lois.
September 21st. So a very, very special thank you to Lois for having the foresight of being born on September 21st. So 22 years later, this wonderful man would have the same birthday. And 70 years later, we could all be together and celebrate. Now, if anyone was doing the math, that makes 92 years. Lois Ross a happy 92 birthday. And please don't let me do this myself because that'll clear the room. You ready?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Lois. Happy birthday to you.
And many, many more, sweetheart.
Definitely not a singer. Thank you, Betsy. You're welcome. Well, I'm not going to belabor the point. The goal is that I was going to roast Dad, but I've been doing that for most of my life, so I figured I'd give it a break today on celebrating his special day. So I just wanted to... Gosh, I sound weird. Is that okay? Yeah, okay. I just wanted to say, Dad, we're so happy to be able to celebrate this day with you. We love you so much. And Lauren and Eric and I have, I don't want to start crying, but I already did. Lauren and Eric and I just want you to know how special you are to us, and we want to do something because you're one of those people that never wants to take the credit for anything. You never want to impose. You know, always give so lovingly, and we appreciate everything that you do and have done so that we can have the lives that we have.
Wait a minute. I got to put these on.
Getting kind of sunny in here.
And I think that it goes without saying, and I think that everyone in this room would echo my words to say that you're a very special person, and we all love you very much. Happy birthday, and I'm going to give you a big hug and kiss, but I've just set this microphone down.
Happy birthday, Hank. Yay.
Birthday. You walked away. Sorry, I saw you away. Lord.
We don't do these cool things too often.
One other thing. This gentleman over here happens to be a very special friend of mine. He and I work together at the Bank of New York Mellon. Oh, can anyone hear me? And he agreed to be our platter pushing papa tonight. Am I dating myself with that one or what? But
Just don't call me Porky. That's
Tom does take requests, and we will be doing some dancing this evening. So after we've had our dinner, we'll just move some tables aside, and we're just going to have a good old time. So everyone, please enjoy themselves. And also,
I want to say something too.
okay. I understand that there's some people here with some very special stories about Hank that they want to share with us. So maybe later on after we've had our dinner, we'll get that going. So here's Hank. Hank, there you go.
I don't think I need that. Everybody can hear me. I have a deep voice, right? Even though I got tears in my eyes. But I tell you what.
It's going to be a long story.
This is real short. This is probably the greatest surprise I've ever had in my life. And I look around the room, and every one of you people bring a special memory to me. It's so nice to have you here today. Thanks for coming. There's a nice buffet up here, so we're going to eat in a second. But I just can't believe, I mean, Duke and Debbie traveled from State College. My kids traveled from Columbus and Moden. Tommy, I'm surprised they come from Russia, but they traveled so much. I mean, well, we got people from across the street, but Dan and Joyce and Freddie, I went to school with Dan, and Freddie and I used to boat together, and Joni and Bill, I mean, they're next door neighbors, they're both crazy like me. She bathes in the nude, so do I. This guy here was really, really special during the time when I was losing my wife. Come into the chapel and sat with me, put his arm around me, didn't say shit. I didn't. Jill and Shannon, I'll tell you truthfully, Jill was like my own child. I've loved her since the day she was born. She has a heart of gold, and I'll tell you what, she married a man that has a heart as big as hers, bigger, and he's just a wonderful man. They have nice kids, and I am so happy to be a part of this relationship. Tommy and Sue, we go back beyond some of this stuff, and you know, I remember him doing things to me when I was a kid. I really wanted to beat him up. I'd still like to beat him up. Bob, and I mean, he's a crazy guy. He's my daughter's father-in-law. You know, I hate to admit that. His wife is a terrific woman. He's got a sense of humor that's so dry it makes you laugh. But a great guy. Shannon, my son-in-law. I'll tell you what, if you ever need any car work done, he's the man. This guy has rebuilt cars. And Freddie, I've talked to him about you and told him you've done planes and cars and Chevys and motorcycles and have had more boats than, you know, the Navy. I don't know. And Lois, I was telling a story about you. In fact, I was telling Betsy today. We moved from a row house down to Batry Street. And when we first moved there, the thing that impressed me on Batry Street was your house. It was always big to me, white, and everything was pristine. I remember eating in your house. I remember Sam introducing me to kohlrabi. I never knew what it was. I was in the house and he cut it and he said, "Here, eat this." I said, "What?" He said, "Eat it." I tried it. It was good. I ate my first oyster in your house. I did. And boy, they didn't do wonders for me, 3 kids.
Too much?
I had my first dance lesson from Lois. For many of you don't know this, but she was a dance instructor. She did professional dancing, as did her husband Sam. And then, to cap things off, I never was one for, being real classy. I'm still not today. I'm kind of a down-to-earth guy. But the day of the prom, I was all dressed up in my tux, black tux, looking good. Went over to see what Lois thought, and she said, "You need some help, boy." I said, "What's going on?" She said, "The white socks gotta go." Remember that? I love that lady. She was like a surrogate mother to the family on the street, the families on the street. They disciplined us, and as a result of that, the guys, all the people on that street, I think in their own right, have been relatively successful. We've all had families, we've all put our kids through school, and now we're approaching a time when we can enjoy what we have. God. So thanks for coming. One other person I got to mention, Duke and Debbie. Well, I got 2 other people to mention, Duke and Debbie. You know, I have a house up in State College. Duke and Debbie have been our neighbors for, God, I don't know how many years. I never talked to them. I never talked to either one of them till about, 5 years ago? 7 years ago when I retired. I started talking to Duke. Started talking to Debbie. And we have become, some of the closest friends. He rides a motorcycle, so he's got me interested in going riding a motorcycle. I got my own motorcycle up there, and Duke, I got to show you the leather jacket that I got. We're going to die for this. And finally, Tom and Audrey. Tom and I worked together at HP. And I hate to admit this because I always thought I was a good sales guy. This guy always beat my numbers at HP. Always went on the president's trips. And one time, I think we got to go together. Wasn't that down to Florida?
Yeah.
We went to Florida together. Boca Raton, right. And we were all down there, and that's the time that, I don't know, did we get you up on that parasail? Did you go up there?
I didn't go up.
You didn't go on that?
I stayed on the boat.
The sail, okay. Tommy and I, we go back many, many years. I actually lost track of Tom because I thought he moved to Russia. He travels. So anyway, I really, and Sharon and Jason in the back, I got on my, well, they're like my kids too now because Betsy and I are together. So I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for coming. This has been a surprise. I can't explain it. And I don't cry, let me tell you. So thanks so much for coming. Eat, please. I'm sure that there's more than enough.
Happy birthday, Hank and Lois.
And look, iPad, there's a definition for duh. How bad is it? Betsy's been playing in this party for what? 9 months. 9 months. And he doesn't have a clue what's going on. So last night, Betsy says, "Sue and Tom, I really would like your help and try to get Hank down so to make him think that it's your mom's party." Hank comes down. I'm sitting here in a chair looking very tired. I said, "Hank, I need help." Got him to put up every one of these tables, put up all the chairs. Now, how bad is it that you have to put everything together for your own party?
Yeah.
So that's a definition. His picture is under With that being said, my good friend, Danny Lawadi, where did the boy disappear?
Where's Dan again?
Danny doesn't want to talk about you. He left. But if anybody has a tidbit of information that you would want to share, but as I said, your times, your trials with Henry, please come up. And I'm going to, Henry thought he was, and he still does, the best at everything. Okay? His daddy gave him a white and pink DeSoto.
No, that was a Dodge.
Dodge, whatever.
Wait. The one that we went down on, that was a Matador. That was a Dodge Matador.
Okay, it's a Dodge Matador, but it's white and pink. Big. You know, you walked up the car with your hand like this. There was a bit of a switch. Small. So he says, I got the fastest car on the street. I said, you got the fastest car on the street. I said, I got the fastest car on the street. So Midnight Road, it's not Midnight Road, a lot of traffic coming now. But back then, you could get out and fly down Midnight Road. I had a 59 Buick. My dad, not me. My dad had a 59 Buick Electra.
Buick 59, Buick.
That's it, Buick 59. We get out side by side, went about half a mile, bang. Henry blew his motor. And he complained the whole time that it was my fault that he blew his motor. But with that being said, I saw.
I was winning. I was winning.
You were winning.
I was winning. I had just put STP in there, and it plugged up my. So
Okay.
that's what happened.
That's what I mean, the boy can't lose. With that being said, Patriot Street ran from East Street all the way up to Perry High School. Henry and his parents lived in the very first house at the bottom of the street. Danny's grandmother lived right next to him. Then there was Danny's house, which was a pink house. I think we lived in one of those, anyhow.
It's a cat house.
And then I lived. So we all grew up together and had a lot of fun together. So at this point, I'm going to ask Danny to stop up and share a few stories about it.
What about the refrigerators?
Oh, yeah. One time, Henry says, Tommy, I need help. I need help. My mom, we got to move her refrigerator. Now, there was probably 20 steps because he lived up high in the apartment area, and we had to bring this down. So I'm below the refrigerator holding it, and he's trying to hold it back. I said, Hank, I can't hold this any longer. So I jumped out of the way, and it went all the way to the bottom.
Yeah, see, you're making it look like, I said to you, Tom, you're strong enough to hold this thing up. Are you sure? And he said, oh, I can do this. I can do this. I said, you sure?
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. And then you leave me. Yeah.
Danny, come on up here, share a couple of stories.
Yeah, they are so nice.
As you know by now, Tommy's really nervous when he's up there. He told the one story about the car that I was going to tell. But that's all right. There's only one person besides my wife in this room that I could spend hours talking about, other than Hank also, and that's Tommy. So one of these days I'll get even with you, Tom. Hank has been a friend for many, many years, probably what, 60, 65 years. We lived in the same neighborhood, grew up together, were in one another's weddings. As Tommy, I've known even longer. And I would like to know what your secret is after having lived next to Hank for so many years and not talking with him. I don't know how you pulled that off. I'd like to know your secret. Pardon me. Couple things. Hank as you know, is very intense. And yes, he is. If you didn't know that, it's true. Joyce and I were married and living in James Ross Apartments off of McKnight Road in the North Hills. And Hank and Jan came to visit. I think they were newly married, if I'm not mistaken. And they had an apartment in Hank's father's and mother's fourplex. Very nice facility, nice apartment. Came and visited, I think we had a few beers, and he walked into the kitchen, and my floor was linoleum. And we used Gleam and Glow. I don't know. And I mean, it shined. It shined. Honestly. Hank said, "Babe, how'd you get this floor to look like that?" And I said, "Well, Hank, I Simonized it." He said, "You did what?" I said, "I Simonized it with core Simonized." He said, "Oh, that." He goes home with Jan. A week later, he's telling me his father's kicking him in the ass because he Simonized the kitchen floor and nobody could stand. Intensity. Hank also was the only friend we had who had a boat. We didn't know Fred at that time, to the best of my knowledge, and Fred's a boater. But Hank had a boat, so I believe it was my brother and Hank, and Tommy, I don't think you were there, but I believe someone else was there. Just another guy. It's 4 guys drinking beer on the boat. We're down in the Allegheny off of, pardon me?
Back channel. Back channel.
The back channel, okay. We're out water skiing, having a good time, drinking beer. The boat breaks down. I mean, the engine stops. I guess they call it the motor, right? So it stops. We're in the middle of the Allegheny River. Fortunately, we're upstream from where we had taken the boat to the water. We're waving all of these boats, trying to get somebody to get our attention. All these boats are going by because 4 guys, and those girls. Well, you're not the right guy, I'm not stopping out with you. Oh, how are we going to get this boat back to shore? Well, I happened to be a fair at that time. And by the way, I used to be in pretty good shape, but I got Furniture disease. What Furniture disease is? It's when your chest falls into your drawers. Anyhow, they put a harness around me, okay? And I swim and pulled the boat about 2 miles to get it out of the water.
You did a great job.
And Hank's in the front of the boat. Come on, Dan. Come on, Dan. Intensity. The only other story I have of Hank, well, there's a couple. I did write a few notes here of people from our neighborhood, just names that many of you will not know, but Hank will identify, Tommy will, Lois will, and my brother Gary. Melody, of course, Tommy's sister. Billy Delaney. Remember Billy?
Right.
Chuck Van Ryn.
Yeah.
Vincent Buick. Glenn Becker. Glenn Becker was a good ball player, played for Chicago Cubs, second base. Okay? We always went up to the field next to Glenn Becker's house. It was a small field. At the time, we thought it was real big. And we would break the windows in Glenn Becker's house, hitting balls. His father never cared, because he knew Glenn was an exceptional ball player. Ed Wedding, remember Ed?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And he joined in Mexico. That's the old team from
That's right.
Pittsburgh area. We did have a friend who lived outside of the area by the name of Bob Rex. And Rex, a very dear friend of mine, God bless him, passed away about 2 years ago, always had nice cars. And I think he had a Buick at the time.
Ford.
Was it a Ford? And he was down visiting. And I don't know where Rex, Bob, was, but we decided to hide Bob's car. Now, Bob was a moody guy, okay? I mean, he really was. And he didn't take the jokes very well, right? So we hid Rex's, Bob's car in Hank's garage. He came back from wherever he was, and his car was gone. And nobody said anything. I said, I guess somebody stole it. You know? When he found out that we had put the car in Hank's father's garage, I don't think he spoke to us for months.
Oh, yeah, my dad had just put on new asphalt in the driveway, and he peeled out and tore the asphalt out.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that part. Yeah.
He was livid.
Danny?
Yes.
He was still upset about that issue at, was it,
Gary's view.
no, the wedding.
The wedding.
The wedding.
Oh, that's
We sat
right.
around the table. And
And
you guys started talking about the funny stories.
Yeah,
and
wedding.
Oh, my son's wedding?
Adam's Adam's-
Yeah, Bob had that moody personality.
For years.
So, anyhow, growing up, we had a lot of fun. Hank was a big part of the group. He's a big part of my life. I love him like a brother. And I wish him a very happy 70th birthday and many more to come.
Thanks.
So thank you very much. And I don't know who is going to roast him again, but I'm going to hand this off. I could go on and on, but I'm not going to.
You have a birthday coming up too. October
No, I
26th.
No.
Yeah.
Actually, I do. I'm going to be 38. It's the chest thing. Okay? Anybody else gonna say a few words about Mr. Gable?
Why don't we just start to move it out and get some music? You know what? I appreciate getting roasted. This brings back a lot of memories, some of these stories though. It's amazing how fast your life goes by. It really is. I mean, it just seems like yesterday when we were going through all this and doing stuff. Going down the river with Freddie, we used to, in fact, he has pictures of it. We used to build a pyramid between two boats. And we'd have, how many? 3, 6, 9 people in a pyramid going down the river. I mean, we didn't know what we were doing. And there was one time when we were going down the river and my boat did break down and I didn't have anybody to help me. He said Gary, his brother. Now, Gary was supposedly a mechanic. He said, I'll fix the motor. I go, hey, Gary, fix the motor. Well, about 2 hours later, you hear the horns going off on the dam. We were like 50 feet from going over the dam. Yeah, they didn't send out a rescue boat. That was one time I put a harness on and swam ashore. We had a really good time together. It really did. I really appreciate everybody coming. I want to get some music going though and get a little bit of dancing going on here and make this into a real party now.
Okay,
You know,
turn it up.
push that button on. And by the way, if you haven't tried this bakery, that lady there is phenomenal. You know, she gives me cookies at Christmas. I think she just likes seeing me in my underwear during the day. You know. And she's a phenomenal baker. Okay.
Okay, Tom.
Put some music on, Tom.
Take it away, Tom.
There you go.
Where are you going, yeah?